back to Math with Miss Swartz. Today we're going to spend our time looking at translations. When we think of translations, we're going to think of one word: slide. Slide. Got a cool little ink here today that has dashes. So we're going to be sliding figures, congruent figures to be exact, and moving them within the coordinate plane. So let's look at the definition. Translation in the coordinate plane. So I would like you to write this down. Okay, it says to translate a figure A units horizontally and B units vertically in a coordinate plane, add A to the x coordinate and B to the y coordinates of the vertices. Positive values of A and B represents translations up and right. Negative values of A and B represent translations down and left. So if this is the point we started at, we're going to say x plus A and y plus B. And this part's important down here, so I should extend this. I want you to write all of it. In a translation, the original figure and its image are congruent. So we talked about congruent figures yesterday, right? So when you move a figure with a translation, your shape is going to stay the same size and the same shape, obviously. So nothing's going to change about it, is what it's saying. We're going to have the same size, same shape. We're going to have congruent figures. We're just moving it in the coordinate plane. So, since we know what a translation is, it looks like that slide we were talking about earlier. We can tell whether something is a translation or not. So it says, tell whether the shaded figure is a translation of the non-shaded figure. So for number one, did we just slide the figure? Or did we have to turn it? Or did we have to reflect it? Or what does it look like? So for number one, if I had just slid the figure, it would still start in this position. So since it's turned on its side, this is not a translation because it's rotated. And we're going to talk about rotations further on down the road. Okay. Number two. Now this one looks closer to a translation where it just slid down to this point. We just have to determine, is it still congruent or are they still the same size? Well, it looks like it, so yes, this is a translation. We just slid the heart down and to the right a little bit. Okay, number three, did we just slide our arrow in any direction? No, in this case it looks like we flipped our arrow or we've reflected our arrow. And then we have the stars. Does it look like we just slid our stars? Well, in this case, yes, it looks like we just slid our stars to the right. Again, you do not need to draw these, just because that would take you a lot of time. No need to draw these either, okay? Tell whether the blue figure is a translation of the red figure. If we took this red figure and we just slid it down and to the left a little bit, we would have the blue figure, so yes, this is a translation. For B, if we took the blue figure, or either or, it doesn't really matter, we would have had to rotate it or turn it for it to be the other. So it can't be a translation. So go ahead and try these. You can draw these ones. These are a little bit easier to draw. And try these. Say whether it's a translation or not and explain. So we'll be checking for this on your notes. Okay, so now we need to be able to perform a translation within the coordinate plane. So, if our first figure here is the red figure, this kind of walks us through our translation. So our red figure is where we're going to start, and it says translate the red triangle 3 units right and 3 units down. So what are the coordinates of the new image? So it says move each vertex, so each point on your figure, right 3 and down 3. Okay, so as you can see for B, we went 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 down. For C, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 down. And for A, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 down. So then when you draw this picture with this blue picture here, it should look the exact same as your original picture, just moved down into the right. So there it walks you through, and you could take the coordinates of A, B, C here, and you could find the coordinates of A prime, B prime, and C prime by adding 3 to the X and adding a negative 3 to the Y because we're moving down. But then you would probably list out these A prime, B prime, and C prime. That's just how we say it. So this is what it looks like. And I'll give you a graph sheet of paper to try this next one out on. Alright, so it says the vertices of the square A, B, C, and D are listed. Draw the figure and its image after your translation, 4 units left and 6 units up. So first I'm just going to draw the original figure. I got 1, negative 2, 3, negative 2. Label these. 3, negative 4. And 1, negative 4. So here's our original figure. So remember, when we translate, we should have a congruent figure. We're going to translate each of the points, and we're going to just translate it what it tells us. 4 units left and 6 units up. So I'm going to start with A, and I'm going to go 4 units to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 6 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be my A prime. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here is our new figure after its translation. Notice it's the same size. We still have 2 units from each. It's a square. And we just moved it left and up. Okay. Perfect. Hopefully you have this in your notes. We'll check all of that. I'm going to have you try this one on your own. So draw the original figure, draw ABC, it's a triangle, and then translate it 1 unit left and 2 units up. Once you're done with that, you can get your notes checked and we'll have a worksheet for you over translations. Have a wonderful day.